how has COVID-19 affected you, your family, and or your community?
Well, good morning, Tiffany. Thank you so much for inviting me to this interview. And I would like to start with just the first question when it says how the COVID-19 has affected me. Well, the COVID-19 affected me by keeping me a little bit away of my work for some time. That was something that I was very afraid. So I suffered from some fear in that period of time. My family it was affected by putting us all together in the same environment where we live, but we didn't share a lot of time. And it was affected in a good way because at the beginning we didn't do that well. However, it helped us to come and rejoin and be together and understand each other. And in my community too, because I was studying, with my community, I was starting to be a personal trainer. That helped me to build the blocks that I needed for when all this pandemic passed, so I was ready to go out and help the community. I have so many people going into my house and looking for me that I was able to keep doing what I was doing and what I was starting to do. And now I still share time and have good friends from that time and before too.
Okay, great. So have you been vaccinated for COVID-19, or if not, do you have plans to become vaccinated?
Yes, I have been vaccinated for COVID-19.
Okay, so what was your experience like getting the vaccine from the time that you made the appointment to the time that you received it?
It was very quick just because I have a friend that works in the healthcare, and my friend was able to make a call, and at the next day I was there as well as my husband.
Great, so you had no problem making the appointment or getting the vaccine?
No, not at all.
Good. So who or where did you get your information from about the COVID-19 vaccine, and what were those sources that you trusted?
The information about the COVID-19 vaccine, I got it from the CDC and from the hospital here in Summit.
Okay.
The resources that I trust.
Okay. And you felt that the information that they provided was very thorough and gave you a good understanding?
I felt it like that.
Okay. So do you think that the COVID-19 vaccines, do you think that they're available in the community for anyone to get? And if not, what do you think were some of the barriers and challenges for people to get the vaccine?
I feel, in my opinion, the COVID-19 vaccine and all the information was available for everyone. We have so many information. In fact, we have too much information that we could probably get lost. We have places where we could go, all the places around the neighborhoods and the areas where we live. And I feel like, yes, it was a very good way to help us to go and get vaccinated if that's what we want.
Okay, and it sounds like it was very easy to get the vaccine in the community. Did you have to travel far for the first few vaccines, or were you close by?
It was very close. I live in Springfield, and I went to the hospital in Overlook Summit.
Okay,
so
okay.
Less than 2 miles.
Great. How do you think that the state or local organizations could contribute so more people would have confidence in and access to the vaccine?
I feel like not the state, but probably the scientists and all the persons the people that work in the health system, I would recommend for them. I'm sure they keep going and doing the research to make us, to make the advances necessary to to improve the health and help people and all kind of backgrounds for what they need. Also tell the truth, even if the truth is like they don't know it and they are in the process of understanding what was going on or what is still going on.
So how do you think that our state and local health departments could improve communications and messages about the vaccine, whether it's now or going forward, or even if this pandemic was to happen again with something else, how do you think they could improve the communication that's sent out to the community?
They could, let me see, they could improve the communication by getting into probably the local news, information maybe in the libraries, where if you're interested, you can attend some, sessions where they inform you about it. That's what I think it could be.
Okay.
Like places where we could go, but we don't want to get too much information either, because not for everyone, but maybe for some people, it could just be too much for their heads that they can get overwhelmed, So
Right. So do you think that there was enough information out there in other languages that helped those individuals in the community that English was their second language?
Definitely, it was enough information, just because it was a pandemic, right? So as a pandemic, it affected the whole world. So just because of that, we were able to know what was going on.
Great. So did you have an opportunity to talk to a healthcare provider about the COVID vaccine? I know you, and if you did, what did that conversation look like?
I'm a biochemistry, and I have some friends that are scientists in Colombia, and I look out for traditional or not traditional medicine. So I have my 50 and 50% of thinking on both sides, right?
Okay.
So I went and I talked to one of the scientists. He was telling me and explaining me from the traditional point of view of how the vaccines work and all that. However, I have some friends also that work in the not traditional medicine. So I could see how, there is not only one way to get healed or to get better or to just have the way to be healthy. So that's all that I can say about that. Different point of views could take you to the same path.
Yeah, that's great. So do you think when you look at the state of New Jersey that every community in New Jersey was given equal access or equal information about the vaccine? And if not, who do you think was left out?
About the vaccine, everybody was informed about it. Okay. Yeah, that's my opinion. Yeah. But,
so everybody had equal access to it and enough information for them to understand.
Yes.
Okay. So our last question is there anything else that you would like to share that we did not talk about in any of the questions that were asked today?
No, that's it. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you. I'm going to stop the recording.